Speaks the truth.
That's helpful, Scott. Bane. Whatever. Blaming Scott for this. Send a garbage can out here.
Remember, never throw vegetable matter.
Presenting the only band in Providence. Band in Providence. It's the Brown University Band in Providence.
For over 60 years, the Brown University Band has entertained the Brown campus with a frenetic mix of satire and music. Founded in 1924, the group has evolved over the decades from the traditional marching band of the 1930s to the conglomeration of spirited bandies it is today. To an outsider, the band appears at times to be a confusing mass of unorganized irreverence. Yet the band members take great pride in what they do, be it playing music, skating, they are the nation's only skating band, or cheering for Brown. And despite the occasionally long hours and combat conditions to the band members themselves, the appeal of the Brown Band is great.
It's definitely the social environment. It's no question. I mean, the music is fun. These pieces are not complex. They're fun to play. And rehearsals can be fun too, but it's a social gathering.
It's just a happy thing. It's just it's so much nicer than like a marching band, like a stiff marching lines, and it's just so much more fun than that.
Each week of football season brings a new show to learn, 5 hours of music and field rehearsal, and a commitment all day Saturday.
It's not the kind of thing where if you sign up to be in the band, you are signing your name in blood, and it's okay not to be able to play an instrument. They teach you how. That's a nice thing. That's a very nice thing.
What about the Saturday morning rehearsals?
Oh, they're great. No, I love it. I mean, look at the weather. It's beautiful. You get to get up and your head is pounding, and you get to blow into cold brass instruments. It's a wonderful thing. I love it.
Even rehearsal is just, it makes it fun just because the people are so fun to be around. You know, it's just a nice bunch of people, or I see it that way.
That's a little slow. Let's do it again. Trumpets, you really shouldn't come in until I cue you. I mean, it'll work. People will follow you, but... Let's start it again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But a band is more than just marching and having a good time. It must make music. Though much of their public would dispute it, the Brown Band is an exceptionally talented musical organization, considered by those who stop to listen one of the best in the Ivy League.
If anybody has any sort of musical background or stop and actually listen to the sound we produce, we sound really good. I know from having sat in the stands and watched the band play that we have an incredible sound.
There are some very, very musical people in the band, but it's not a serious musical commitment, and it's not highly competitive like a lot of musical organizations on campus, and I think that's a very positive thing about it.
It is playing time. It's not that you're just horsing around, and you are playing your instrument. You are playing decent music. You get a lot of sight reading practice in, and at the same time you meet other musicians. You meet people in the band who are not just in the band. There are a lot of people in the Wind Symphony and even a few people in the orchestra who do band. And they enjoy the band too.
Ladies and gentlemen, hot sex friends and alumni, give us money, and all you suspended Dartmouth band members, Harvard Sox, it's the Brown University Hot College. Gosh, it's great to be back. Band!
The culmination of a week's work is the halftime show. Now, an Ivy League show does not resemble traditional between the halves entertainment, and the Brown Band halftime show differs from its collegiate counterparts as well. Band president Darlene Netko explains.
In regards to other Ivy bands, which also do the same things that we do, we all play musical instruments on the field. We take great pride in the fact that we don't have any mannequin players, or we don't carry any milk crates out like Yale, or we don't play pineapples like Princeton, or kazoos like Dartmouth. We run out onto the field in no form, way, shape, or form. We just run out. And when we get to the field, we form our first formation, which corresponds to the script. And our shows make no sense whatsoever without a script.
Matt McGarrell, the musical director of the band, elaborates.
Oh, well, I was the director of the University of New Hampshire band, and we rehearsed for a whole week, 8-hour days in the summertime to learn the one show that we did all year. And by the end of that week, everybody had the music memorized and the show memorized. It was a very intricate show, of course. And then the rest of the year, every night of the week, we rehearsed for 1 hour just to polish that show and keep it tuned.
As opposed to the band.
As opposed to the Brown Band, which, you know, doesn't rehearse even once, you know.
We're just so non-traditional. Like other schools' bands go out there and thinking of one in particular, they have like 20 rows of cymbals and they crash them on the ground, and then all the spectators go ooh ah. But we don't look for an ooh ah effect. We look for a ho 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 effect. You know, it tends to work.
The actual performing at the shows, you know, and making, I mean, when we do it at home game, the crowd loves it. They go wild, you know, just, even though, like, they probably don't get half the jokes, but.
Not that we had to prove it or anything. The band now form Harvard's Green Eagle on the field and play Ivy League championship.
What of the public? What is the audience opinion? Two alumni answer.
What? The Brown Band!
Well, as long as you keep it clean, it's good.
Describe the Brown Band.
Crazy.
As a spectator.
Crazy. I love them.
That's great.
No, they're very good musicians.
Really?
I mean, in spite of their craziness. And look forward to the striptease guy.
But band does not live by halftime alone. Much of the band's time is spent on buses traveling to and from the away games.
Another very important feature of a Brown Band trip is the distinction between the two buses which we have, one of which is the quiet bus where you can go and do work or sleep, and then there's the rowdy bus where you go if you are full of energy, vim and vigor, and not full of alcohol. And usually all those things can be taken care of in one fell swoop.
There's just everything going on. I mean, you could be in the back playing Mexican, you could be in the middle playing Hearts, you could be in the front just watching the road go by, but it's all a good time. Now the bus is probably the key part of away trips.
The band is run well. It's run loosely, but it's run well. It's sort of organized chaos.
Oh, well, it's something Dionysus would be proud of. Let's just put it that way.
You know, we want to entertain people, but we want to do it our own way.
But just getting out in the field and playing loud, just having a good time and cheering in this cheering section called the band. I'll miss that.
I said, it's been a great 4 years and I'm going to miss it.
I never even saw a tuba close up before I got here. I would have a really tough time giving it up. I'll tell you right now that the idea of giving it up now is really frightening.